ये हाँ it is going, it is using that.
This one.
हाँ जी. अभी इसका लिंक कहाँ पे है? ओके सो ये बराबर दिख रहा है आपको तब पूरा ये कि आगे पीछे करना है.
ये पिलो
निकाल
पिलो निकाल देते हैं.
आपने और कुछ निकालना चाहिए. और सब
बाकी तो सब ठीक ही दिख रहा है.
माइक पर दिख रही है यहाँ पे सेटिंग. ओके परफेक्ट ऑन ही है.
ऑडियो एक बार देखें.
हाँ आई थिंक अब बोलिए कुछ स्वामी जी.
महादेव 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 महादेव.
थोड़ा आ रहा है. I'll go to another room and listen. अभी हम I think the link the stream has started. So we are on.
We are on.
We are on. एंड कर दो स्ट्रीम और फिर से दूसरा करना है. क्यों? ठीक है ठीक है ओके.
Anish, we are good to start, I suppose.
Yes. Start it and I'm going to see.
Oh. Mahadeva, 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 Mahadeva. Mahadeva, Mahadeva, Mahadeva. I mean, those who are sitting in front, you are definitely audible. Just needs to check if I'm still audible on the video or not. Mahadeva, 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 Mahadeva. In this Jivan Mukti Viveka, on page number 14, you will find the first shloka of Mangalacharan, and we will do that. And then you can come to the chapter 2. Have you found the first one? That page, just page number 14. Otherwise, even if you don't, it's okay. Om Yo Brahmanam Vidadhati Purvam Yo Vai Vedanscha Prahinoti Tasmai Tamhadevamatma Buddhi Prakasham Mumukshurvai Sharanamaham Prapadye. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Namo Brahmadibhyo विद्या संप्रदाय कर्तृभ्यो वंश ऋषिभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः। सर्वोपप्लवरहितः प्रज्ञानघनः प्रत्यगर्थो ब्रह्मैवाहमस्मि ब्रह्मैवाहमस्मि। ॐ वेदान्तार्थविभासकाय गुरवे शान्ताय सन्न्यासिने नानावादीनगेन्द्रसङ्घपवये योगीन्द्रवन्द्याय च मोहध्वान्तदिवाकराय भगवत्पादाभिधां बिभ्रते तस्मै भाष्यकृते नमोऽस्तु सततं पूर्णाय बोधात्मने। यस्य निःश्वसितं वेद यो वेदेभ्योऽखिलं जगत् निर्ममेतमहं वन्दे विद्यातीर्थमहेश्वरम् विद्यातीर्थमहेश्वरम्। The Vedas recognize 4 goals of life. These goals, we call them as Purusharthas. The meaning is Purushena Arthyate iti Purushartha. That what is sought by a person is called as Purushartha. So then when you reflect on what one is pursuing, what one is seeking in life, you will be able to broadly classify these are the 4 things which I want. Okay. And this is common for all. It doesn't take a person to be an Indian or a Hindu to recognize what is he seeking in life. So we find a person is seeking security through wealth. The person is seeking certain pleasure, delight, comfort, is not it? Then we also understand that the person seeks a right way of living. The person seeks a right way of living. That is because you cannot expect right results by doing the wrong actions. And this is a very important part which distinguishes a human being from rest of the forms of existence. That you are able to understand the relationship between cause and effect. Presently, we understand action as the cause and certain experiences of joy and sorrow as the result of those actions. Okay. The action may have ended long ago, yet you understand that the result that is there is the result of the action which was done in the past, even if it is remote past. Generally, in defining what is a cause, we are going to say that which is immediately present a moment before the effect comes into existence. Hey, don't you say that? When you are going to say the milk is the cause of yogurt, let's take a simple example. The milk is the cause of yogurt. Milk is not remotely placed. Milk has an immediate presence a moment prior before the curd comes into existence, the yogurt comes into existence. And therefore, this allows you to understand that the milk is the cause of the yogurt. So we see that there is cause, there is an effect. What are you going to understand as a cause of a certain effect? Depends on how you are able to understand and what allows you to understand the cause and the effect relationship. Okay? How you understand and what allows you to understand. Now, the thing is, this is the entire matter is just purely understanding. This is understanding. This is not entertainment. This is not making you feel good or anything of that sort. So there is no such promise that, by listening to Vedanta, etc., you will gain special experiences. No. We are not sitting over here to give you any special experiences. Every experience is special because it is different from the first and previous and the rest of that deck which are going to arrive. So every experience is unique in itself. Is not that true? Your experience of waking up and looking at an object this morning is definitely different from you looking at that same object yesterday morning. So every experience is unique, every experience is different. And there is no dearth of experiences. Experiences are continuously taking place. Experiences are continuously taking place. Some experiences give you joy, certain experiences give you sorrow, grief, whatever. But experience, and this is the range. With a mixture of sorrow and joy and things like that, you are experiencing the whole world of names and forms. Now, we are saying not any experience. We need to understand something about these experiences. When a person is simply chasing experiences, he refuses to understand, refuses to illumine himself. Where understanding is refused, where knowledge is refused, That means a person has chosen to stay ignorant. In a haste to have special experiences, the person has chosen to stay ignorant. And therefore, now we are not going to talk about getting any experiences at this point. We are talking only about understanding. What you need to have is already there with you, provided you understand. Provided you understand, provided you know. So, therefore, what you require is not any different in a new experience, but simply understand. When a person is able to see this, a very important transformation will take place in a person, and that is, instead of the person chasing experiences and new experiences and different experiences and exciting experiences, now the person simply wants to know. He has now he no longer stands to support ignorance. वह अज्ञान का पक्षधर नहीं रहता, मूर्खता का पक्षधर नहीं रहता, वह तत्काल ज्ञान के पक्ष में आ जाता है, समझदारी के पक्ष में आ जाता है. This is very important. Coming back to the topic, that you are able to now see that there are actions and there is a result of actions. Though the actions may be very remote and its result may be in the present, yet you are able to understand, something allows you to understand that this action and this effect, this action and this experience have the relationship of cause and effect. It is, to understand that the milk is the cause of the curd is easy, is not it? It doesn't take great deal of intelligence. But where does the buddhi requires to play a greater role? Where the cause, though is not immediate, there is a gap of time and space. There is a gap. Yet this is the cause of the experience that I'm having now, and therefore now I'm able to understand this particular action and this particular effect is having cause and effect relationship. Okay. Therefore now the person chooses that let me have right actions so that I may have right results, meaning the right experience. Because a wrong action, right result is not the thing. What is a right result according to you, according to anyone? Experience of sukham. The experience of sukham. Sukham means joy, peace. peace at yourself, peace with the world. The experience of not feeling uncomfortable, the experience of not having any inner conflicts or external conflicts. True? Do you want to stay in conflict? You want to end a conflict, whether it is internal or external. No, I like to fight, and this is my special hobby. And therefore, I like to have the split in my mind, and that's why I'm all the time confused, in doubt. I love that state. Do you say that? No one says. I don't want any internal conflict too. So, in a way, what are you seeking? You are seeking a pleasurable, delightful, peaceful, joyful experience. This experience, then, you are going to call as the right experience. When you want the right experience, you have to have the right action. When it is right on both the sides, tick, tick, not crosses. On both the sides, it is right, which means righteousness. This then we call as dharma. So when a person is looking for security, wants to be safe, and in modern world or in the world itself, that security would mean certain wealth that you would value, that you would preserve. You would not want to squander it. You want to preserve it. You want to increase it. Correct? So anything that you assign a value, and that value is the value of security, then is what you're seeking. That what you may call as wealth. Correct? Therefore, Artha Purushartha, I am seeking pleasurable, delightful experience, that what may delight the senses, that what may delight the heart, that what delights, excites your intelligence, is what you are seeking. And therefore, this is Kama Purushartha. Kama Purushartha, just don't keep it restricted, meaning only to the sensual pleasures. Food and fun, drinks, fun and fun. That is not just calm. Even when you listen to a beautiful poetry, does that not delight you? Listening to nice music of your choice, does that not delight you? Listening to something that is intellectually stimulating, does that not delight you? So then, when you are consciously wanting to have something which is delighting, pleasurable, soothing, comfortable, you are seeking Kama Purushartha. So first you had the Artha Purushartha, the Kama Purushartha. Then when you are able to understand the relationship of action and the experience, a tangent action and a result you cannot say that you understand there is something between the action and the experience. And when you are able to link it, something allows you to understand action and the experience having cause and effect relationship, and therefore this understanding makes you pursue right action, a righteous life. This we call as the dharma purushartha. So how many purusharthas have you seen now? 3. Artha, dharma purushartha. With all these things, your life yet not is complete, because we are going to find that we are still seeking something. We are still seeking something. And here, this seeking becomes the seeking of a person, though it is universal and for all, but for a person now who has consciously woken up to the experiences of life. Okay? Not just walking through the experiences, dragging through the experiences. Oh, Swamiji, you don't know, I have got, the serious problems and, all grief and dukkham and how people have treated me and how I have, struggled in my life, and I have to write a biography and put it on sale, how I was harassed by my mother, father, brother, sister, neighbors, including my black dog. Yeah? And there I come. Even all your experiences of grief also can become a positive input in your life only if you are able to learn, understand something from it. Therefore, to sit on an experience with remorse, guilt, is not a solution. If you understand something from it, then that experience becomes your ladder to rise in life. Then, as a person, you will not have grudges against the world, against any person, no matter how bitter the experience was. Neither will you have any grudge, nor will you have any extra attachments in it. Without him, without this, how can I live? Because you know that the experience arrived so that you can move further. And as long as we don't understand from an experience, as long as we don't learn from that experience, we are bound to repeat experiences, similar experiences again and again. You know why? It's like in school, at least in Indian systems, when you are not able to understand what you were taught, you fail and you sit in the same class. Then when do you graduate to the next one? When you understand. Thus, a person moves forward only by understanding, not by sitting on it with sympathy. My grief, you don't know how my mother-in-law treated me. So, no, next. person moves. Learning from an experience is very important. So, now the person observes something in life, and his observation is, though I am seeking, whether I am seeking artha, kama, or dharma purusharthas, what I am truly seeking is happiness, peace. Is not it? Though I am seeking security, which means security, by having security, what will you have? Oh, well, I will have peace, I will be happy. You are seeking happiness. By seeking pleasure, what are you seeking? Freedom. Freedom from displeasure, from being displeased with yourself. Uh-huh. I'm very bored, I'm seeking something exciting. You're displeased with yourself. You don't want to be in the same mood. You don't want to see yourself like this. And so you want to change. So the person is seeking freedom, and freedom from displeasure. The person was seeking freedom from insecurity when he said, I'm seeking security. The person is seeking freedom from wrong course of actions when he is seeking righteousness. In all the three pursuits, you are seeking freedom. You are seeking freedom. And you are seeking freedom from dukkham in general. Correct? Insecurity is dukkham. Unpleasant experience is dukkham. Wrong experience is definitely dukkham. And you want freedom from all this. What are you seeking? Freedom. You are seeking liberation. Therefore, we are saying there is yet one more pursuit, and that is the pursuit of liberation. What do you want to be free from? I want to be free from dukkham. Anybody will say this, I don't want dukkham. I don't want any form of grief. Does anybody like getting bored? Does anybody like, getting rejected? Does anybody like this, the sense of loneliness, helplessness? Anybody wants it? I'm seeking freedom from dukkham. Therefore, the next question is, I may have security, money, but has it removed my insecurity completely? I may have certain pleasures and pleasant experiences, but has it removed my displeasure completely? Hmm? And therefore, dukkham remains with you in some of the other form, that from which you are seeking freedom. So how now we are going to say, when a person is able to consciously recognize this, that no matter how much money, no matter how much pleasure, no matter how much praise that people may heap on me, No matter how much popular I may become, yet Dukkham follows. Follows. True? If Dukkham follows, and I want freedom from the Dukkham and I want absolute freedom from Dukkham, total freedom. How is that freedom that you are now seeking from Dukkham? Not temporary. It is not a temporary relief. Temporary relief. It is not a little small respite, a quick escape. But I want total, absolute freedom from Dukkham. Meaning that Dukkham should not be there with me at any point of time, in any amount, even as a shadow, even as something that is impending in future. Dukkham shouldn't be. When this kind of freedom that you are seeking, though essentially it becomes what everyone is actually seeking is just this. Then you are seeking liberation, moksha purushartha. Now you see, therefore, there are these four legitimate pursuits of life, four legitimate goals of life: dharma, artha, kama, and moksha. These are the four pursuits. But what happens is, from where has this dukkham arrived? From where has this dukkham arrived? And you have a certain knowledge that some wrong action has brought the dukkham. If the action was right, the experience would be sukham, peace, comfort, etc. Therefore, finding that there is that cause, which is the karma. So, because of that karma, there is janma, birth, which means acquiring a body. Would you be experiencing human dukkham if you were to be in a rabbit's body? Hmm? No. The dukkham of a rabbit is a different dukkham. And in order to experience what is rabbit's dukkham, you have to sit in a rabbit's body. Say, suppose there are two rabbits, and one rabbit takes away the carrot of the other rabbit. What is that rabbit? B's dukkham, him taking away my carrot. So loss of carrot makes you unhappy. You will say, well, I'll buy another one, get another one from the fridge. So that loss, that kind of a dukkham which the rabbit is experiencing due to the loss of carrot, is only can be had only by sitting if you were to be in the body of a rabbit. Correct? So by acquiring the body, a particular body of a human being or an animal or a bird or a plant, devata, yaksha, kinnar, whatever, what happens? You experience that type of sukham and dukkham. But now over here, even those experiences of our sukham are overshadowed by dukkham, or just the dukkham follows as a shadow. For example, you go and you purchase some new sari, let us say. You go and purchase a expensive new sari for some wedding, because Indian wedding you have to have, right? And now your concern is some amti dal should not fall on it. Aren't you careful? Expensive, Baba. So there is an, though there is this joy of wearing that expensive sari, beautiful sari, there is an impending dukkham that, and let somebody not appreciate it, or let somebody say, what a sari, it's a gaudy color. Now that experience has turned into an experience of dukkham, you see. So all these experiences, even of pleasure, even of joy, are already carrying the bija of dukkham in it, the seed of dukkham in it. But you want to have freedom from dukkham, which is absolute freedom, unconditioned freedom, not conditioned by time, not conditioned by space, situations, objects, people. You want sukham, you want freedom from dukkham, which is absolute. Okay. So by having this body, there is this human dukkham. Then don't be in a human body. Be in which body? A rabbit's body. I may go and sit in a rabbit's body, but now there is rabbit dukkham. Then let us go to the Devata Yoni. You go and acquire the Devata Deha, Sharira. Over there is a different dukkham. Now that Devata who's watching that dance, Apsara Menaka dancing in the Sabha, now he says, she looked at that next fellow, she didn't look at me. Jealous you already. Devata dukkham is different. That you cannot imagine sitting in a human body, but there is. So whichever body that you may acquire, wherever you may go, the dukkham will be there. These people are saying, no, no, no. Going to the heaven is freedom from dukkham. Yeah. Let's go to the heaven. So best food, best wine kind of thing that they're singing, best music, cherubs are singing. I mean, it would be such a scary experience. These cherubs are just, the heads of the children flying around with wings under. I mean, you just imagine, heads just flying around you, singing and all. Would it not be scary experience? There's a nice cherubs. Not a very pleasant experience. Then you go sit in that heaven, and every day nice food, the same food, because best food is going to be only one. So every day best food, best music, best wine. Finally, you will be bored, and you are calling dukkham boredom as dukkham only. Then to say that let us go to the heaven, and for what? To get bored. So now your whole trip going to the heaven. Now we will follow our prophet. Go. And then what? And then what? Therefore, don't even suggest us that, going over there and then. Now there is the Devata Sharira also, is also another, just Dukkham in another form. So acquiring any body, identification with the body itself is Dukkha. Why did you get that body? Because of certain karma. Okay, it is the result of karma. Then that, why did you do the karma also? Why did you do that karma? The answer to it is, I did it because I have a desire. Okay, I had a desire. In order to fulfill those desires, why did you have those desires? Every desire necessarily means that I find myself inadequate, incomplete. Every desire. So when you are going to say, when I want that, and by getting that, what will happen? Oh no, Swamiji, I will feel fulfilled. So now you are not fulfilled, and that's why you want it. So now there is a lack, and that lack can be filled up, cemented, if you have that object. So that every desire is a declaration that I am incomplete, I lack, I am inadequate. Right? That I am inadequate, I am incomplete. So this sense of incompleteness now becomes a desire. Because of the desire, there is action. As a result of action, there is acquirement of a body. And because of the body, but why is there this sense of incompleteness? Where did it come from? Am I truly incomplete? If you are essentially and nature incomplete, it wouldn't be a problem. Do you have any problem when you say that, these days I'm hearing through my ears? Why? Because it is natural that you receive this sound only through the ears. So that what is natural does not become a problem. But tomorrow you wake up. क्या बोल रहा है? And you start listening through the nose. You put the nose to somebody's ear. Mouth. क्या बोल रहा है? No, now this is a problem because that is not natural. That what is natural is never a problem. You got it? If I truly by nature was incomplete, inadequate, unfulfilled, this wouldn't be seen as a problem. The very fact that I don't want this sense of incompleteness means this sense of inadequacy, incompleteness, unfulfillment is not something that is natural, not something that is my nature. If it is not my nature, how come I am experiencing it? And here we say, it is because you don't know. You do not know the nature of the self is Purnam. What do you do not know? That the nature of this self is Purnam. Purnam means not the Andhra Pradesh, they make this Purnam. Purnam means complete. It is complete. Not knowing that Atma is Brahman is ignorance. From this ignorance, there is desire. From the desire, there is karma. Because of the karma, there is acquirement of the body, and because of the acquiring a body, there is to come no matter what. Got you see? I mean, you got to see now? So, what is the real cause of dukkham? Ignorance. Then, what would be the cause for freedom from dukkham, absolute freedom from dukkham? Because what can eradicate ignorance? Knowledge. Knowledge means knowing Atma is Brahman is the only way this dukkha can be totally eradicated. And therefore, liberation, which is the fourth Purushartha, Moksha Purushartha, is accomplished through knowledge alone. And that means not acquiring any body any further. Got it? Where there is this, one sees that one is free from body, mind, all these complexes, that is now a freedom, and that is Videha Kaivalyam. Now there is body. Now after this body is gone, no more acquirement of any new body, and that's why we are going to say it is freedom from the cycle of birth and rebirth. Okay, Videha. Now this is the last. Gone. After this is gone, no more. Chakra. Finished. But how will that happen? Through knowledge. Through knowledge. Will attainment of Artha Purushartha give you freedom? Moksha? Any amount of money, wealth will give you this freedom? No. Any amount of pleasure, sensual pleasures, intellectual pleasures, emotional pleasures, will it give you moksha? Any amount of pursuit of dharma also, will it give you moksha? No. Therefore, when a person sees that none of the pursuits for artha moksha or artha dharma or kama can deliver moksha, therefore he says all these pursuits for artha, for kama, and for dharma are redundant for me. They hold no meaning for me. And therefore, that what is redundant, that what is useless, what do you do with it? You discard it, give it up. This giving up is what is called as renunciation. This is called as, do you have a word for renunciation in Sanskrit? Sannyas. So now when a person sees that none of these things are important to me, in fact, they hold no relevance to me, what will naturally happen? What will naturally happen? Sannyas. And therefore, taking to sannyas is not some, fancy. Taking to sannyas is not somebody's, some fantastic idea, or maybe because the person wants to live as a recluse. That's why he takes to sannyas. I don't like society. I don't like people. That is a complex. This fellow does not have a complex. In fact, he is able to see that nothing is. This is not what is required. All that is required by me is knowledge, and none of these things are required by me, and therefore I renounce this. So, sannyasa purvakam, what is he pursuing now? Only, in other words, what is he seeking? Knowledge. Brahmatmaikya jnanam. Therefore, when the knowledge is sought, by renouncing all the other pursuits, it is called as Vividisha Sannyasa. So why has he given up everything? Because he wants knowledge alone. He doesn't want all that. Knowledge alone. And therefore it is called as Vividisha Sannyasa. Okay. So knowledge, he now acquires knowledge. He acquires knowledge because he is truly seeking knowledge. So knowledge, he now acquires knowledge. He acquires knowledge because he is truly seeking knowledge. Now that what will that knowledge do to this Vividishu sannyasi? Freedom from any future births, etc. No more acquirement of the body. And therefore, now this liberation is called as Videha Mukti. What is it called? Videha Mukti. After this body is given up, no longer. Videha Mukti. Through knowledge, it is attained. Now comes a question. Sir, that is something that will happen after this body is given up, and knowledge is the only way out. We have understood. But is it possible to have this experience only wherein there is no dukkham even whilst living? Is there anything like that where even whilst living the dukkham is obliterated, given up? Hmm? Hmm? Whilst living, there is freedom, and therefore now the word comes to you as Jivan Mukti. The word comes, Jivan means whilst living. Mukti means now you have understood. Moksha. So liberation whilst living. Is it possible? Is it possible? And so Vidyaranya Swami, the 11th, 12th century great sage, has written this book, Jivan Mukti Viveka. The discrimination, meaning the Viveka, clear understanding about Jivan Mukti. Okay? Sir, therefore now we have understood that moksha takes place and it takes place through knowledge. Now you understand. And that means non acquirement of body any further. Therefore, freedom from. Got it? Videha Kaivalyam. Videha Mukti. But we want liberation whilst living. And also after this body is given up no longer. Is it possible to have Jivan Mukti? Living person, free from dukkham, impossible. Correct? He says it is possible. Jivan Mukti is possible. Sir, by you saying it is possible doesn't become possible. Somebody wakes up tomorrow morning and says, well, the earth is not round, not it is not even flat, it is cubic. Huh? It is, you may say, but by your saying the world does not become cubic. You are also saying it is round. By your saying it is round, it is not going to become round. I am saying cubic, you are saying round. Why is it that I am wrong and you are right? Why is it that me saying it is cubic is wrong and you saying it is round is right? Why? 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 Because we have evidence to prove it is round. It is a proven fact. It can be proven. What? It can be proven. Earth is round. Proven means it can be known. How have you known? How have you proven? So, in order to know it, you require a right praman, means of knowledge. And therefore, in the first chapter of Jivan Mukti Viveka, Sri Vidyaranya Swami gives us the praman to, 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 to show Jivan Mukti is possible. Is there. Jivan Mukti is there. So this is not something coming from Vidyaranya's hat or some other sage's hat. There is a pramanam to it. Okay? There is, therefore, he gives it in the first chapter. But, sir, pramanam we can see later, but we, first of all, we require definition of what is Jivan. By saying liberation whilst living, all that you have done is only you have given us a translation of the word Jivan Mukti. All that you have done is you have given us a translation of the word. Anuvad diya hai keval. Anuvad dene se, by giving you just a translation, I am expressing in a different language, that's all. But that does not mean that you have understood. That does not mean that you have understood. Why? Say, suppose I am a person who in life has never seen a cat. I don't know what is a cat. Okay? I do not know what is a cat. So then I ask you, what is a cat? And then in you Tamil, tell me what is a cat. What do you call cat in Tamil? Ponni. Poni. Pune. No, how does that make sure that I know what is a cat? I'm asking what is a cat, and you said Pune. Translated. Have I known what is a cat? बिलाड़ी बोलने से will I understand what is a cat? What do you call in नहीं मराठी में I know in Telugu. You don't know what is it in Telugu, but you know what is a cat. You know what is it called in Telugu? Don't know. It is called a Telugu cat. You see this? That by giving a translation does not make sure that you have understood, you have known. And therefore, in order that you know, there is a cognition, you require a definition to be provided. What do you require? A definition. Whose definition are you seeking, or what definition are you seeking? What is Jivan Mukti? You want to know what is Jivan Mukti, this definition. So now, in that very first chapter in your book, which is there in your phone or computer, page number 14 is I think it will be on page number 34 or so. If we go to scroll for 34, okay. On page number 33. You got it? No, not that. Page number 33 in PDF. Yes. अथ केयं जीवन मुक्तिः. Page number 20 in that printed text. अथ केयं जीवन मुक्तिः. The first question, because these questions are not questions, this is the total content of this book. These are the questions, and answering these questions is the total subject matter of the book. Which book? Authored by? Thank you. Don't say Abhishek Chaitanya. So what is the first question? Atha keyam Jivan Mukti. What is Jivan Mukti? कोई बात नहीं, listen, you will get that. What is the first question? Atha. What is the first question? Atha. Kayam means Kayam. Kayam Jivan Mukti. When it is conjugated, it will become Kayam. You're learning Sanskrit. Ah, atha kayam Jivan Mukti. First question. The second one is Kimva tatra pramanam. Is there any pramanam, a means of knowledge, evidence for us to know what is Jivan Mukti? What will allow you to know there is Jivan Mukti? So there is pramanam required. Okay. Then the third question is Katham va tat siddhihi. How can that be accomplished? Katham va tat siddhihi. Siddhau va kim prayojanam. And even if it gets accomplished, what purpose will it serve? Huh? Prayojanam means purpose. This is the content. Answering these questions, the whole text is spent answering these questions. Okay? What is the first question? Ayam Jivan Mukti. That means there is a demand for defining precisely what is Jivan Mukti. What is wanted? A definition. Not Jivan Mukti. Definition now. We want to understand, and therefore just don't give us, oh, Jivan Mukti means, you know what? A liberation whilst living. Then there is women's liberation, this liberation. Which liberation whilst living? Economic liberation and liberation from this. And what? So, what is Jivan Mukti? Liberation whilst living is very lame. So, what do you require? And how should that definition be? Precise, accurate, not approximate. Maybe, Jivan Mukti means you can say like this also. Maybe you can, maybe like this. Something like that is Jivan. No, this is what is Jivan Mukti we want. So precision, accurate, to the point, give us that definition. Kim va tatra pramanam? Well, sir, you may have defined it, but what is the evidence that it is truly there? What is there? The evidence we need, pramanam we need. And so there is pramanam, giving the pramanam for its existence. Katham va tat siddhihi? How can that be accomplished? So, how can that be accomplished means what are the means to attain it? What is the question now? What are the means to attain, to accomplish it? Well, you have attained, you have accomplished it. Then, what purpose will it serve? What purpose does it serve? हो गया जीवन मुक्त अब I am looking for a new job. आजकल क्या हो गया? I'm enlightened. Now what? Now I want to see where I can get a good salaried job or something. New business that I want to start. New business? Yes, new business. What? Ashram business. People come to me, I will enlighten you. Enlightenment business. Crash course in enlightenment. Nothing less than $150,000. Crash course. Want it? The price is too high. Can we negotiate? what prayojanam will it serve? Okay. So, what is Jivan Mukti? Is there any praman what you are saying that it is truly there, an evident fact that it is an evident fact? Then the third topic over here is how can that be accomplished? And the fourth one is even if accomplished, what purpose does it serve? Got it? So, this is the content of the entire text. Therefore, when we meet in the next session, we will continue with what is the definition of Jivan Mukti. Okay. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Avashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Bhadarayanam Sutrabhashakritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murtibheda Vibhagine व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः. Thank you all. Thank you very much.